Hey, welcome back to Game Hydro. We're talking about level 20 normal of Galaxy Defense today, stage 20 normal. So we're going to show you exactly how to beat it. Now, before we do that, we're going to show you what we're running. We're running 600 total attack power between gear rarities and gear levels. Most of the gear is high level tier 1 thanks to global defense, but we got a tier 2 fine gun, and that is that for gear. Now, over here under the turrets, most of our stuff is around level 6, level 7. We got level 8 firewheel drone because that's frequently used. For this stage coming up, we've been using a lot more Tesla coil. So that one is no longer just level 1. We'll show you exactly why we're using that, actually. So going to the list of enemies, we got the boss, the Abyss Dominator, which is strong against fire and energy. We got this elite mutated octopus, which is strong against fire. We got the Swiftfish, which is weak against physical and electric. Boneblade, which is weak against electric. Actually, extremely weak against electric, takes 100% more electric damage. And Abyssal Malefish, which takes 50% more electric and energy damage. So all of the non-boss enemies here are weak against electric, is the lesson. So we're going to use that to our advantage. Thunderbolt, obviously, that's the primary electric, so that's going to be our main skill over here. Next up, Beam. It's not electric, obviously. It's just really good at getting the folks that are the closest to the fortress, especially when the refracted beams start coming into play. Each hit from the beam triggers an explosion. We're not going to get that one, unfortunately. However, we're going to get more refractions. Now, this actually is one chain collaboration that is electric. Each hit has a 30% chance to trigger a chain lightning. We aren't going to aim for that because between having to get a 3-star beam and a 2-star Tesla coil, or excuse me, 3-star lightning, it's a little bit of a long shot. Now, if we were high enough level to unlock this one, that would actually be by far the best for this level. Beam releases an expanding electric matrix on hit, so that's basically what the Tesla coil does. Now we got the Hive for 2 reasons. Because the Wasps alone can do extraordinarily amounts of damage to the boss, especially when you upgrade them to Wasp 2, but also because this Electro Wasp thing over here can put out a high voltage shock that does absurd amounts of damage. So you need a level 2 Hive and a level 1 Tesla coil to have a shot at that one. And then, of course, the Tesla coil, look at the explosion damage at level 4, 5,297. That's just stupid. Now, we do have a few card boosts and stuff, but like nothing that crazy. The skills that we like the most here, Tesla coil releases electric matrix with additional damage and slow effect, and Tesla coil releases up to 5 high energy electric shocks on hit to nearby enemies. That one is epic. Plus you get mix it with lightning, all electric damage 80. During charging, Tesla coil releases 2 refracted beams. Obviously those beams aren't going to be electric element, but they're extraordinarily useful against mobs. Still kind of useful, but not ultra useful against bosses. Alright, without further ado, we are going to play level 20. Alright, off we go into stage 1. Or as the Air Force song says, off we go into the wild blue yonder. So, things are going to be slow at the beginning, but arguably, to me, the most important part of this plan is the Tesla coil. So to have that out of the way right away is quite nice. None of those fit with the plan, so I'm going to refresh and then come back to the video. Alright, through the magic of TV, I guess, we have refreshed with no ad, and beam is part of the plan, so we're going beam, obviously. Not only is beam part of the plan, it just makes leveling up faster, easier, and more pleasurable. Electro chain. I like electro chain. I don't like the railgun. The railgun is, in my opinion, useless in almost every situation. The one thing that makes the railgun good is comboing it with the fire wheel, so that when the railgun shoots, little mini fire wheels pop up. Electro acceleration. Oh, hive. That's part of the plan. Beam duration 40. And out of this, we're going to go with Swarm Assault. I don't really have any reason to upgrade the beam to 2 stars other than simple convenience. Laser, Aeroblast, Railgun. Well, that pushes out the Thunderbolt, but thankfully the Thunderbolt is, in my opinion, the weakest part of the plan. And the laser does the most splash damage and DPS, so I'm going laser. Thunderbolt, I don't really care. I didn't really care about it a ton as being part of the plan. And we're going Dense Swarm first. The cool thing about the Wasp is that when it gets to 2-star, high 2-star, or even 3-star, the Wasp is so powerful that you can actually beat this boss with pretty basic stats without even needing the Tesla coil. It makes it harder, but it's definitely possible. Tesla coil cooldown 30. And we're going to wait for the good stuff to pop up. The one weakness of the laser is that it's poorly targeted, but I've been finding myself liking the laser more and more lately compared to when I first started the game. Because you can upgrade it to shoot multiple lasers at once. You can get the sweeping laser upgrade, and with a few 50% damage increases, you can really make it formidable. What do we want? Trap Matrix is strong. Sounds like a Atlanta mixtape from the 2000s. Trap Matrix. Now we're going to let the stage continue. Tesla coil explosion range. Railgun explosion and Electro Matrix. Initiate paralyze effect. Or inflict, rather. I'm going to avoid that tier up one right now because I like the other one better. Because the other one does crazy amounts of splash damage. And I'll show you the other one as soon as it pops up. Efficient beam. Okay, Wasp damage plus 50. We already like the Wasp. This will just increase the effectiveness. There's the boss up toward the top. We're already getting some damage on it. This is kind of nice to get a little bit of damage early. It's not a lot, but every little bit counts, to be quite honest. And that's kind of the nice thing about the laser, too, is that sometimes it increases the chances of that sort of damage. So we're going to do bullets plus 1 in order to multiply the damage being done. Obviously, piercing bullets can be quite useful, but in this case, I most want to do a lot of damage whenever I aim the gun on the boss. Electro interference again. Stop playing with me. Laser damage. Going for the Hail Mary here. We already got the Abyss Dominator to ×9, and he's that high up. I consider that a win. We're going to go Wasp 2 because the Wasp 2 upgrade is extremely powerful. And when you get some Wasp 2s or even Wasp 3s attacking the Abyss Dominator, that thing ends up not being long for this world. See what I mean? Damage is already increasing significantly. Having the boss down to ×7 at that point. There we go. Tesla releases 5 high-energy electric shocks. Send it. Send it. You'll see what I mean, why it's so powerful. See when it hits an enemy that's close to a bunch of other enemies, it almost kind of chain lightnings them, except that chain lightning does a crazy amount of damage. Wasp attack count +2. Let's get that Wasp upgraded. Wasp up here making short work of the Abyss Dominator. This is why we wanted the Wasp upgrade done early. I may actually be starting to like the laser more than the lightning in this specific role, because while I'm focusing on the boss, it's doing a good job at weakening the mobs. During charging, Tesla Coil releases 2 refracted beams. I love that combo attack. And the boss, we've never actually beaten the boss this early before. We've beaten the boss almost every time we played this level, but not before the very last run. Usually it's a little more rushed. So, Electro Boost, but the rest of the level is gravy from here. The mobs on this level are very easy. It looks like we're tracking for a perfect clear because the Wasps are the real MVPs. Not to mention we've got that beam refraction boost. The laser has done a great job. Let's look at the overall damage everything's done right now. Now, the Tesla Coil, with all of its upgrades, has done an absurd amount of damage. It's averaging 27,000 DPS, which is just ridiculous. The laser has already shot to number 2 in a very short amount of time, followed by the Hive, and then, surprisingly, bringing up the rear as far as the turrets go is the beam. Now, the fact that the beam is as useful to us as it is, and is still bringing up the rear, that just says how good of a boost that is. All right, let's finish out the level. The Wasps, they're going to take care of all the non-bosses. Now, those disappearing stingrays are annoying as hell, but the beam and the laser can hit them and bring them back into being visible, which will allow the Wasps and everything else to target them. Level's done. Very easy, perfect clear. Very easy, perfect clear. All right, we are golden. All right, thank you for watching. This is Game Hydro. Hope this level 20 tutorial helped you. So to recap, I'm actually going to state a different opinion here than I had earlier. The most important one to upgrade to 2-star and possibly even 3-star is the Wasp, because you can actually beat this level without using the Tesla Coil if your Wasp's Hive is high enough. But the Tesla Coil is the second most important, and by second most important, I'm talking like 1A, 1B. You want to combo those two together, of course. The Beam, third most important, and previously I would have said the Thunderbolt was important for the combination too, but the laser also extraordinarily useful. Thunderbolt is good if you get chain lightning, but the laser is very good if you get a few laser upgrades going. Alright, this is Game Hydro. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please continue watching for more Galaxy Defense content, and leave a comment if you want to see something specific.